Once upon a time, in a YouTube series called AniMay18, your daily dose of anime every day in May, a beautiful young maiden with gorgeous red locks fell for a prince in white. It's the tale of Snow White with the red hair. I'm just gonna get this out of the way, I do not like this anime's title. It's clunky and weird and kinda confusing. Is the protagonist Shiryuki supposed to be like a red-haired Snow White? Or is Prince Zen a gender-bent Snow White who gets together with the red-haired Shiryuki? It's, honest to God, my only major complaint in the entire show so far. It's adorable and charming, and I already love the cast. Shiryuki is a strong, independent woman who don't need no man, and is a smart and successful herbalist in her town. But throughout the series, her striking red hair attracts all kinds of creeps, like the inept local prince who wants to force her to be his concubine. It's a classic fairy tale setup, but for a modern rom-com anime, they sure don't beat around the bush with talk of concubines and human trafficking or near-constant death threats. This poor gal can't catch a break. Thankfully, rather than being a constant damsel in distress, which, by definition, she is certainly in plenty of distress on a daily basis, she almost always proves her determination, willpower, strength, and cunning in escaping her pursuers. And although she's had some pretty nasty scrapes on her own so far, it doesn't hurt to have made friends with the strapping young prince from the neighboring kingdom. While running away from the clutches of Prince Raj, Shiryuki crosses paths with Zen and his retainers, and the two hit it off immediately. A major theme of the anime is choosing one's path, sometimes in opposition of a presumed fate. Shiryuki has gotten as far as she has in the face of hardships by her own determination, and completely embodies the strong female protagonist. Rather than cling to Zen and use his authority and friendship to protect herself or even demand special treatment, she willingly puts herself in harm's way to make a point that she wants respect on her own merit. Obviously, I like myself a good fairy tale romance, it's what I grew up on, but what really attracted me to this anime was how realistic and mature the characters are. You know, in a typical fairy tale, the swashbuckling young prince can get away with shirking his duties to pursue a princess who's waiting in the highest room of the tallest tower. But here we see Prince Zen regularly doing paperwork all night while Trophy Girl is pursuing her academic and career goals. In some ways, this show is more like a workplace romance with a dash of fantasy and action, and that's A-okay in my book. A major complaint of mine when it comes to romance shows in general is the drawn-out nature of the relationship for drama's sake. The rare exception for shows like Karakano, where the story is about exploring the romantic relationship right away, but for the most part, the obvious couple never gets together until, like, the very end of the series. And if the story is primarily about relationship drama with miscommunications and will they won't they, the characters don't typically have goals outside of getting into the relationship. But here I'm just as invested in seeing Shiryuki pass her exams and be accepted as a court herbalist and help others as I am for her to get together with Zen. There's just a lot to care about, and that's a good problem to have. The score is appropriately whimsical, and the character designs and tone are reminiscent of one of my favorite anime, Ouran High School Host Club. Not surprisingly, since they're both produced by Studio Bones. There's a bouncy optimism imbued in the show despite some of the heavier drama that always left me with warm feelings after each episode. Now don't go anywhere, folks. There's only a little bit left to cover for AniMay18, so stay tuned to see if I get my happily ever after.